Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Common Underground. I'm your host, Common. Thank you yesterday for all the subscribes and thanks for all the cool comments and all the love and support. I appreciate you guys. Cheers. This is not alcohol. This is decaf coffee. And I know you're like, what the hell's Common drinking decaf coffee for? But listen, I have a routine. I learned from bad experiences with overdosing on caffeine. I get real jittery and it's not good for me. So I'll drink 2 regular coffees. And there's some days I may need 3, so I'll double down on it. I'll do 3 or 4, and those are days that I didn't get any sleep the night before. But what I know is that like usually sometimes a 3rd coffee will make me jittery, so I'll do 2 and then I'll make a decaf, and then after about 30-45 minutes after the decaf, if I still need coffee, then I'll have another regular coffee. But that's my process. That's how I do it. And there's some mornings where I don't even want to drink coffee, like regular coffee. I'll make a protein shake with a banana, chocolate protein, if you guys are interested, with the banana in there, and I'll put some coffee inside of it with some ice cream or some ice, and then I'll blend it up and I'll make basically a Starbucks protein smoothie with coffee in it. That works too. I really do enjoy that because I knock out 2 birds with 1 stone. I fill my stomach up so I'm not hungry, and I get my caffeine. All right, so that's enough of that and my stupid habits. But yeah, again, cheers. Good morning to everyone. Let's jump into the graffiti artist of the day. Today's graffiti artist is DMOR from the south side of Chicago. He is a member of SFA crew, UAC crew, and FTR crew, which my older brother is a founder of. So shout out to DMOR. Dude, you're sick. Your graffiti styles are wild and very individual to you. I really have been paying attention to everything you've been doing over the years. You've been painting for well over 30 years, probably 40 years. You're old school. You are an OG, especially to me. SFA crew was a crew that I looked up to, including FTR, while I was growing up. So when I used to see these guys out painting, and hey, shout out to SFA. Rolo, you're my homie, man. I love you to death. Known this guy for almost 35, 36 years. Great dude. Rolo, SFA, shout out to you. But back to DMOR, you're dope as hell. I really appreciate all your styles and everything you do. Keep painting, keep inspiring, keep doing great things for the graffiti culture. That being said, I do want to say one little thing is rest in peace to Dewar. It's really a sad situation. I do wish everyone who's related and is really close to Dewar, I really want to say rest in peace to him, and I wish you all well. I hate sad stories like that, and I hate things like that happen. And as well as rest in peace, Do It from Moss Crew. RIP, Do It. They still haven't found his murderer yet. It's a real sad situation. The same thing. They've been looking for his murderer, and if anyone knows anything in connection to who murdered Do It, please go ahead and contact the Chicago Police Department, because that is a very sad situation. Listen, the South Side of Chicago is a very dangerous place. Very bad things happen. Everyone needs to stay vigilant, stay awake, stay alive, and make sure that if you know information, share it. It's not snitching if you're trying to put away a murderer. For me, it's like this, dude. If you snitch on a drug dealer or whatever, I understand people are going to hate on you. If you snitch on a thief, people are going to hate on you. But if you snitch on a murderer, a person that is shooting out a window of their car, that same person you might think is a gangster or a G may accidentally shoot your child while they're riding their bike on the street. Just think of that. So you got to understand that if a person kills one time, it's a lot easier the 2nd time. And then it gets easier the 3rd time. And the way Chicago was set up and the way how everything is going, there's probably about 90% of the murderers still roaming the streets. And that's why, like CPD, Chicago Police Department, why whenever they pull somebody over, everyone's a suspect, because literally they've only caught like less than 10% of the murderers for each year. And so anybody that they pull over could be a suspect. And I get it, there's racism involved. There's always racism involved in everything because it's the way the culture is in America. So that being said, ratting out a murderer is not being a rat. It's not being a snitch. I'm sorry. That's my opinion. You guys may all look at that differently, and that's neither here nor there. So again, rest in peace, Dewar. Rest in peace, Do It. All right. Now, I've been watching the CNN, and it's funny because I'm watching CNN scramble. CNN is not even news. CNN is literally just a anti-Trump hate media platform. It's crazy because they're scrambling now because they don't even know how to do their job now that Donald Trump is the president. they're coming up with stuff and they're shooting stuff out of their ass. They're still talking about the Russia shit with Trump. I'm like, dude, we already know it was bullshit. But they're still talking like, well, Putin doesn't want to talk about Donald Trump, and Donald Trump said this and this and that. Listen, it's bullshit. CNN, find something else to talk about, at least for a month or two. Because listen, we ain't buying that shit no more. He won. It is what it is. You guys gotta fucking suck your tongue down your throat, eat a fucking donkey dick, and dip it in some milk, and shut the fuck up. You lost. It is what it is. But hey, that's not on me. Just saying, whatever, dude. I think it's funny. And plus, I want to say this, first of all. I'm Mexican. Everyone here knows that I'm Mexican. My last name's Hernandez, and I got beautiful eyes. But listen, there's a thing that they were putting on CNN this morning. It was Mexicans for Trump, and how surprised they are. They're like, I never thought that there would be that many Mexicans voting for Donald Trump. And then so they gave interviews to some radio hosts for Mexican radio shows, and they were like, yeah, he's fucking great. They're very happy that he is planning to deport a whole bunch of illegal immigrants. And I seen that it's going to cost about $960 billion. I may be wrong with the number, but I think it's $960 billion. You guys want to fact check me on that? Go ahead and write it in the comment. But if I'm correct, I have the memory of a goat, so I'm not really good at it. To deport everybody, and I said that before. It's good. It's going to be really, really hard. But if he stops giving money to Ukraine and stops giving money to Israel and stops fighting all these proxy wars, and I think we'll be pretty good. I think we can manage to deport a lot of these freaking immigrants. And I'm not against immigrants, but I mean, listen, if it's his agenda and that's what he wants to do for his 4 years, it's his job. I don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? It's his job. That's what he's got to do. Let him do his job. I never stop a man from doing their job, and I never get involved with a man and how they raise their children, except for those jerk-offs I told you about on YouTube yesterday. But yeah, so it's funny. And the other thing with the Mexicans for Trump, listen, if you're a Mexican, and I'm going to talk about Chicago right now. If you're a Mexican and you've been here your entire life, or say you've been here for at least 10 years plus, and you got a job and everything's going good, you bought a house, and you got a ton of cousins and aunts and nephews and nieces, and they all came here, brothers and sisters, everyone's here now, you're good to go, your whole family's there, and then all of a sudden all these Venezuelans come out of nowhere, and now your entire city's riddled with Venezuelans everywhere, so now they're a threat to you. Like, it's crazy, because like back in the day, Mexicans were a threat to the white Americans, but now Venezuelans are threats to actual Mexicans, because they'll take less money than a Mexican will for the same job. That's just the way it is. So I think that I do have friends and family in Chicago that do tell me stories about what it's like right now for the Venezuelan crisis, and it's pretty funny. I laugh because I'm not there, but I understand that it's a really serious situation. And it's a little goofy. Venezuelans are a little goofy the way they're described to me. But yeah, so that's what I think. I think Mexicans are like, man, fuck, get rid of them, deport them. Like they're putting us at risk for losing our jobs and shit like that. So that's what I got on the whole Mexicans for Trump thing. And listen, I'm Mexican. I like Trump. I had no issues with him. You know what I'm saying? It's whatever, dude. Anyways, let's get back to graffiti. Fuck all that bullshit. So I just want to give a huge shout out, because I know I did a graffiti artist of the day, but I do want to give a huge shout out to a friend of mine named Werm 1312 Cab Crew. I just want to say, man, you are doing amazing, absolutely amazing things for the graffiti culture as well for the hip hop culture. All right. Werm is an influencer. He's an entrepreneur. He's absolutely an outstanding graffiti artist and regular artist, canvas artist, painter, anything that can hold paint and can touch his hands, he's going to do something amazing with, you know what I'm saying? And he also raps. He raps. He's got a YouTube page, or what he said, a YouTube channel, Werm1 at 312 Werm. So if you want, after this blog and shit, you want to see who I'm talking about, if you don't, listen, if you're a graffiti artist and you don't know who Werm is, then you need to get on game, because you're going to see with Werm what the possibilities are for a graffiti artist. in today's world. A lot of graffiti artists that do graffiti, they might be okay. You know what I'm saying? They might not be the greatest graffiti artists. Might not be the worst graffiti artists. But one thing is for sure, if you are a graffiti artist and you're getting deterred and you're like, you know what, this isn't going to take me anywhere. This isn't going to pay my bills. You know what I'm saying? And it probably won't. But Werm will show you that there are other things to transform into after the graffiti world. If you've done your time. Like I talked about this with my buddy Dark Riddle. I think like Werm, if you've done your time, you got 20, 30, 40 years of illegal graffiti in the streets, and you got a name and you got a reputation and people know who you are. And at some point into your late 30s and 40s, you don't want to take risks getting arrested anymore because it doesn't make sense. You got kids, you're married, you got a house, you got a mortgage, you got a real job, you got a car note. You don't want to go to jail. You don't want to get fined and all that stuff. So what do you do with your skills? You already built an audience. You already got followers. People have been following your name on the trains, on the buildings, on the streets for 20 plus years. What do you do with your art? You transform it into a job. Start painting canvases, start doing clothing, start doing permission walls for big businesses where they'll pay you. Start doing salons, interior painting and stuff like that. Take your skills and take them to the next level and get paid for it. And that's exactly what Werm has done. And he really created a real nice blueprint, especially in Chicago. But I know all over the world, whoever knows him is following some inkling of what he is doing. Like I said, he's got canvases, he's got music. One of his tracks, one of his records, one of my favorite tracks of all time is called Paint the Pain Away. And that's how I feel, because like I said, I use graffiti as a way to deal with stress. And that's a wonderful way for me to, relax and calm down after a shitty day or I wake up in a bad mood. So yeah, shout out to Werm1. Everyone look at his YouTube channel. Everyone check him out on Facebook. Everyone check him out on Instagram. See what he's doing. Check out his clothing, his new line. I mean, he's very influential. So, I mean, everyone's got to know who he is. If you're a graffiti artist, you're going to see what I'm talking about. So, yeah, shout out to you, Werm1. Thank you so much for everything you do for the culture, my brother. Now, in other news, I got something pretty fun for you guys today. 43 monkeys escaped from a South Carolina research lab. Now, that might not just be funny all by itself, but 43 monkeys are just... So someone left the door open accidentally, and 43 monkeys ran out, and they're like, oh my God, I don't know what happened. It's so silly. It's so funny. And so I watched it on CNN, and I couldn't believe it. So then I went on other news sites and confirmed it or whatever. So I will let you watch the video. So here you guys go. Here's the video. So enjoy this.
Police in South Carolina's Low Country are asking people to keep their doors and windows locked. Workers are laying traps to catch dozens of monkeys that escaped from a research facility last night. CBS News spoke with the company. Dave Malkoff reports.
The 43 rhesus macaques made a break for it on Wednesday, escaping from the Alpha Genesis Primate Research Center in Yemassee, South Carolina.
The caretaker was doing her normal routine. She failed to secure the doors, and the monkeys basically just bolted through the opening. They're very social monkeys, and they travel in groups. So when the first couple go out the door, the others tend to just follow right along.
So the reason why they got out was literally monkey see, monkey do.
Absolutely.
President and CEO Greg Westergaard says the monkeys, which are used for vaccine development, are hanging out in the woods near the facility. A bystander says he saw the escape, although the video he recorded could not be verified by CBS News.
I think they're having an adventure.
The fugitive primates are described as cat-sized adolescent females.
You want it? You want it?
I met a similar species on assignment in Sri Lanka. In a statement to CBS News, the CDC said the monkeys pose no threat to public health as long as people do not come in contact with them.
Hoping for a happy ending. That's the number one important thing.
All right, so you see that? Now, the one thing that's striking out of that entire video, and I hope you guys are paying attention, these monkeys were used for vaccine development. What? What does that mean? So how do they test vaccines to see if they work? They inject monkeys with diseases and viruses. That's what they do. That's how it works. And rats. And probably humans. I don't know. Are you with me right now? I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist at all. I'm really not. Listen, when I get stressed out, I got one of these things. You know what this thing spins? And there's a smaller one. I don't know if you guys have one of these or ever seen one of these. What I do, because this thing is like made out of marble, and it's cold and it stays cold for some reason, I just rub it across my head like that and get my... It feels on the cheeks too. It feels great. You guys need to get one of these when you get stressed out, because the news stresses me out, man. It really does. But let's play a game called Pretend They Don't Have a Virus. Let's pretend they don't have a virus, all right? So these 43 monkeys without viruses are loose in South Carolina. South Carolina? Didn't they just get over this whole hurricane? Now they got monkeys. Anyways, let's pretend they're loose in South Carolina and people see them and then they catch them, because they had video footage of baby monkeys too. So like, come on, dude, you see a baby monkey, you're gonna go after it, you know, catch it because it's cute, right? And everything's all good, and they catch all the monkeys and they bring them back to the research lab. That's best case scenario. Now let's pretend that every single one of these monkeys has monkeypox or some other crazy created virus or disease that was injected in them to test vaccines. 43. And we don't even know what kind of diseases they have or viruses, how they transmit, whether it's air, whether it's blood, whether it's semen, you know, whether it's sweat, spit, or just even touch. Nobody even knows. But there's 43 of them, and you know how monkeys travel. They're all over the place. They're fast. Dude, I watched Planet of the Apes, dude. I watch how fast they invade on something, dude. It's scary. They jump from house to tree to ground to car to house to tree. They're scary. Monkeys are scary, dude. And I watched that Joe Rogan episode where he's talking about a monkey and his owner or whatever were hanging out, and her friend came over, and for whatever reason, this chimp, he was jealous of his owner's friend, so he ripped her face off. He ripped her face off. Can you stop a monkey from ripping your face off? You know how strong they are, dude? And they're only like, I don't even know the exact percentage, but they're like only like 2% difference, or 1 or 2% different DNA-wise from us. Like, that's the only separation. But like, so they're smart and they're stronger than us and they're faster than us. They can jump. They can basically fly. Just imagine that. Dude, if I were a superhero, I'd want to be Monkey Man. I wouldn't want to be Superman. I'm already Batman in a way, but I wouldn't want to be Superman. I wouldn't want to be Iron Man. I would want to be Monkey Man, because they're freaking crazy what monkeys can do. I want to rip somebody's face off. So yeah, so that's what's up again. South Carolina. If you see a monkey run in the opposite direction, it's crazy. Listen, that's all I got for today. I am sorry for taking up so much time out of your beautiful morning. Again, I am strongly going to recommend this. And I do want to recommend one more thing before I leave you guys. If you got children that like to play on your phone a lot, and they basically watch stupid shit that you can't monitor, do this, and it works. Buy them walkie-talkies. Buy your kids walkie-talkies. They're not very expensive. The range ain't amazing on the cheap ones, but you want maybe like $50, you get some real nice ones. Dude, give them both your kids, or if you have one child, give one to your kid, and then when her friends come over, give the other one to their friend. Because I see right now when my daughter's girlfriend comes over, they'll get on the phone and they'll set it up somewhere and they'll both dance in front of it and do TikToks together and shit like that. Well, I don't like that. So what I'll do is like, hey, you go over there and you go over there and talk to each other. And kids just love it, dude. They love it. It's fun and it's something different, and well, they can make games out of it and shit like that. So best investment for your kids. Keep them off the phone. Buy walkie-talkies. All right. That's all I got. 10-4, over and out. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. I hope you guys like this. I did this myself. I'm bored. I find old-ass t-shirts, and I got some fabric markers, and I start painting it on them and shit like that just to fuck around. But peace out. Peace, love, and flower power. I almost forgot to say it. That's from the Powerpuff Girls, I think. I don't know. I'm an old soul, but I'm also a kid at heart. All right, thanks for tuning in. Comment Underground. Go on YouTube, everyone, because I'm not getting as many subscribers as I would like. All right. So shout out to all you TDMs out there. I want to see every single one of you guys subscribing to me because it's not right. And again, shout out to Graffiti the First Element Facebook group page, that everyone that does graffiti, jump on that group page, Graffiti the First Element. I did talk to the admin like I said I was going to do. He was super cool, super nice. Not a lot of groups, I mean really no groups allow me to advertise my blog on their Facebook groups. But this guy, shout out to him, mad love, mad respect to him. He lets me do it, and I think a lot more graffiti artists should allow us to use their groups to advertise graffiti content like this. Not too many people are doing any type of content whatsoever for graffiti, and I am one that is, and I do respect and I support all graffiti artists, and I really appreciate for all of you to support me as well. So Comment Underground, peace out.